Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our virtual conference today regarding the Commission Order number 2023-456 related to the consultant, PA Consulting's report in docket number 2022-351E and any remaining procedural issues that need to be discussed this afternoon regarding docket number 2022-351E. I'm Jocelyn Boyd. I'm employed by the Public Service Commission. In the hearing room with me today is our staff attorney, Miss Alicia Clausen, our live stream producer, Ms. Melissa Purvis, and our WebEx extraordinaire today is Jackie Knight. So, may I begin with recognizing counsel for Santee Cooper. If you would please identify yourself either. Well, we can begin with Mr. Cooper. Are you available, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Boyd. This is Ashley Cooper. I also have on the WebEx Steve Pelcher.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Pelcher. We'll move next to Central Electric Power Cooperative. Okay. I think counsel was it would have been Mr. Tinkin or Mr. McDonald. Mr. McDonald? I think I saw you on WebEx. Is he muted? Oh, Mr. McDonald, we got an indicator that you are muted. We'll come back to Mr. McDonald in just a second. Nucor Steel Berkeley.
Hey, good afternoon, Ms. Boyd and parties. This is Rob Smith representing Nucor Steel Berkeley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. Next, the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Good afternoon, everybody. This has been my student. Nicole Gibbon also is on the line, although she may have to drop off at 3:30 depending on how long this proceeding goes.
Okay. So we're going to go back to Central Electric Power Cooperative. Mr. McDonald? Okay. We can see where you appear on WebEx, Mr. McDonald. The only other option I know of right now is you can put a telephone number that you're comfortable with in the chat, and I can call you, and you can participate that way if you would like. Oh, I missed someone. PA Consulting Group. Mr. Janis.
Good afternoon, Ms. Boyd and parties. This is Charles Janisek with PA Consulting. I'm on.
Hi. I apologize for taking so long to get to you. Thank you for participating today.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Did Ms. Knight, did Mr. McDonald say anything? Everybody, I'm going to try to find the phone number for the Tinkin Law Firm. Oh, may I have it?
I'm showing 843-377-8417.
Thank you. Okay. It's saying there's an issue with the telephone, with the line. Let me think. Maybe it's a broadband issue. Oh, oh, here's another number.
I did just find a direct number.
Uh-huh.
For him.
Yes, 843-377-8423.
Okay. I also found 8415.
8415. Yeah, that one's not going through either.
Okay.
Okay. 377. Tell me the last four again.
8415.
Thank you. Mr. McDonald?
Yes,
Oh, wonderful. We were just trying to call you.
my apologies.
How, how are you?
Technical difficulties with my microphone for a moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, wonderful. How are you this afternoon?
Doing well, thanks. Hope you are too.
We're doing well. And you're representing Central Electric Power Cooperatives this afternoon?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So everyone, all the interveners and the applicant and the consultant, PA Consulting, have identified themselves. And so we will proceed unless someone thinks otherwise. We'll proceed with talking about order number 2023-456 right now. Okay. I'm going to ask Ms. Purvis just to, I know you all are familiar with this order, but I'm going to ask her to display it, if you would, Ms. Purvis. Thank you so much. We are present today because in order 2023-456, the commissioners asked that, or instructed staff to consult with the attorneys for all parties to modify the current procedural schedule so as to permit the parties of record the opportunity to, number one, issue discovery requests to PA Consulting as the parties deem appropriate. Number two, if the attorneys for the parties wish to file testimony in response to PA Consulting's report, they must do so not less than 4 weeks following the filing of the report. So Attorney Clausen and I spoke this afternoon. There are some constraints within this order, I think. First and foremost, that Order 2023-456 indicates that parties who want to file testimony in response to the consultant, PA Consulting Group's report, they must do so within 4 weeks. And I think that date would probably be around August 7th because the report was filed on July 5th, but August 5th is a weekend day. Okay? And I can begin with Santee Cooper. We can proceed that way to see if you have other issues you'd like for us to address this afternoon. Santee Cooper, and let's see, Mr. Cooper.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Ward. I guess just kind of thinking through this of the way they wrote it, must do so not less than 4 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Following the filing of the report. So I guess you're saying that is the recommend. So we don't have. I just want to be clear that I understood what you were saying. I agree with the August 2nd date. So the testimony would not be filed before August 2nd. Is that what you were saying, or did I misunderstand? Or were you saying you'd like for it to file before the August 2nd?
No, you have, I think based on the wording of it, not less than 4 weeks, you have until August 7th.
Okay, so.
Well, let me think.
Jocelyn, this has been just at least from my perspective, the way I interpreted it was that no less than August 7th, meaning, no earlier than, but maybe.
Yeah, you're right, because it doesn't say, thank you, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Mushin. It says they must do so not less than, not, it doesn't say not greater than 4 weeks following. You're correct. You're
Yeah, 'cause
correct.
I think, and I'm trying to pull up the letter because I know we were the ones that made this request, but I
Okay.
think in our letter we may have requested. Bear with me. I'm just trying to pull it back up. Yeah, no less than 4 weeks.
Okay.
Pre-file testimony no less than 4 weeks following the filing of the report. So at least what our intention was that at a minimum we have 4 weeks to pre-file testimony. So I think that would be the August 7th date that you had calculated as
Yes.
far as the earliest that it could be. We also had asked about discovery, so we would, to the extent that discovery is necessary, we would need to add in some time and allow time for responses on that as well. And I don't know if it may help, maybe just to kind of shortcut some of this, but I had kind of just looked at the calendar, and there's nothing magical about this. Ashley and others may have alternatives, so certainly nothing. These dates would be flexible, but what I had kind of looked at was maybe providing until August 4th to submit any discovery requests. So that would basically give the parties, about 3.5 weeks or so to submit discovery, or if there was a follow-up round of discovery that may have been needed, but submit discovery requests by August 4th, with responses to be provided by August 20, no later than August 25th. So that would give about 3 weeks for responses, and then to the extent any testimony would be filed, that would be filed September the 1st, which would be, about 11 days or so prior to the hearing. So nothing magical about that, but since we had made the request, we thought we would at least throw that out there for discussion. Certainly happy to entertain any other thoughts anybody else may have.
Thank you. Let me go back to Mr. Cooper. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, first for asking me to repeat what I said initially. I agree with you and Mr. Mushin that actually you weren't to pre-file responsive testimony until August 7th, actually. So I agree with you and Mr. Mushin. Thank you for saying that. And then, Mr. Mushin, regarding your schedule, August 4th to issue discovery requests no later than August 4th. And then PA Consulting would have until August 25th to respond. And the 4th is on a Friday, and so is the 25th. And then any testimony that is filed in response to PA Consulting's report will be due no later than September 1st, which is a Friday. May I go back now to Mr. Cooper? Are you in agreement, Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Mushin's proposed schedule?
Yes, Ben, I appreciate you suggesting that. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that's a reasonable amount of time while still moving this forward in a timely fashion. So I think you struck a really nice compromise, and Santee Cooper would support that proposed schedule.
Okay. And then
Jocelyn, just to clarify, I guess, so the August 4th date and the 25th date, I could foresee if somebody needed, say 2 rounds of discovery, and so say if somebody decided they needed to submit a first round on July 21st, then responses would be due 20 days later under the commission regs and that sort of thing. So it's if the 25th would kind of be the drop dead date, but if there was something that was submitted earlier, I would propose that it be under the 20-day time line under the commission regs. And then if a second round was needed, then, it would be about 4th with the 25th being the date. Hopefully that makes sense, but it wasn't that like, if you sent in a request on the 21st, then PA Consulting would have, till August 25th to respond. It was kind of like the drop dead date for discovery is the 4th, and then if you send something in on the 4th, then your final response date would be the 25th. Maybe I'm rambling too much and I'm making it too complicated, but I wanted to kind of marry up those two things.
Okay, so so the deadline to issue discovery requests to PA Consulting Group Incorporated is August 4th, 2023. That's the proposal?
Yeah, and maybe the easier proposal is, requests should be issued no later than August 4th, with responses to be due 20 days after the date of the issuance of the request. So maybe that's an easier way to get around it without having to worry about the 25th date that I proposed.
Okay, so deadline for responses. I'm just going to make it clear. Deadline for PA Consulting Group to respond, right? Or PA Consulting Group has.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry. I thought you were taking a break to ask for our opinion. I mean, Ben, I was almost going to flip it. I think you could say that discovery response, if you started with discovery responses shall be due 20 days after issuing discovery. Discovery shall be issued on or prior to August 4th, with responses due on or prior to August 25th. Would that make it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. What I was trying to just clarify was, for instance, if a request was submitted, say on July 14th, you wouldn't want to have responses coming in on August 25th for those.
Right.
So that's the nut that I'm trying to crack, and I realize I'm probably making it more complicated than it needs to be. So,
I think you've got it. I mean, and I may have too. Let me try this just to shorten it for Ms. Boyd. What about if we said all discovery shall be discovery responses? There shall be 20 days for discovery responses. All discovery shall be issued on or before August 4th. That would necessarily bring you to an August 25th deadline, right?
Yeah, I think, well, I guess technically it would be August 24th, but yes, I think that would get us to where we need to get, or at least what I'm thinking, yes.
Okay, I wrote the second sentence. Mr. Cooper, all discovery shall be issued on or before August 4th. But the first sentence you said, I think, was discovery responses
shall be due within 20 days of receiving discovery requests.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is Ben. I think that works.
All right. Discovery responses shall be due within 20 days of receiving discovery request. All discovery shall be issued on or before August 4th. Okay.
That works. I think that gets you there.
And then we have a third issue, right? Testimony?
That's right.
Okay. So testimony in response. Well, it's already in here. We can use testimony in response to PA Consulting's report shall be filed no later than September 1st.
That's right.
Is that okay?
That works for me. Ben, that works for you.
Yeah, I think that works for us. I mean, that would seem to give, 11 or 12 days prior to the hearing. So hopefully the commission would have time for that week of September the 4th. I guess Labor Day is in there somewhere, but yeah, but I think that would work from our end.
Okay, wonderful. September 1st. Okay, so let me ask let me start with Mr. Cooper again. Mr. Cooper, do you envision PA Consulting just responding from the witness stand, regarding testimony filed in response to the report? Or
I think there should be that opportunity for them to respond and to be able to ask questions of PA Consulting. I candidly have not talked to my client. I could call Mr. Pelcher. I don't know if Ben, you have a recommendation on whether or not they should just simply respond, or whether there should be a written response prior to the opportunity for cross-examination. Ben, my thought was in other proceedings there was the opportunity for I guess it would. I'm just trying to think about other proceedings where we've had something like this. I guess that does make sense that we would file this and then they would be available in front of the commission to respond, and also have cross-examination and commissioner questions. Is that?
yeah, I don't remember because I don't participate in those in the avoided cost cases, and I don't remember. I think
That's how it worked in the last one, right? Ben, do you recall? And I can, if you give me a second to mute for just a second,
Sure.
I can just confirm and call right back in.
Okay.
Boy, that Santee Cooper is fine with as long as there's an opportunity to to have a chance at a hearing to cross-examine PA Consulting on their report. That works for Santee Cooper.
Okay. Wonderful. And I think, Mr. Cooper, before I move on, I think the notice actually mentions I'm looking it up on DMS now. Yeah. So the notice, the revised notice that was issued on June 2nd states the hearing is rescheduled to begin on Tuesday, September 12th at 10 a.m. for testimony by PA Consulting Group and cross-examination by the parties and by the commission. I can make that bigger. Thank you, Ms. Purvis. Let me see how I do that.
And Jonathan,
So,
while you're doing that,
mhm.
I pulled up, I was just looking in 2021 88E, which is, I think this was the Dominion Energy Avoided Cost Proceeding, Order 2021-565.
Okay.
And there was parties responsive testimony was due, and then testimony and cross-examination of the consultant and presentation of parties' responsive testimony will be held on October 11th. So I don't recall that, at least this doesn't look like the consultant provided, or there was, yeah, the consultant provided basically rebuttal testimony.
Okay.
So I think while that would normally be my preference, I think, in this situation, and if we've got the ability to cross-examine, then I think that probably solves that problem.
Yes. Okay. Just wanted to ask your opinion. Okay, Mr. Cooper, do you have anything else right now?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments earlier. Mr. McDonald?
No comments from me. Thank you.
Are you okay with this schedule, Mr. McDonald?
I am, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Mr. Smith?
No comments and no objection to the schedule.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mr. Mustian and Ms. Givens?
No, I think we're in good shape. I appreciate everybody working with us today.
Sure. Thank you for your comments too. Mr. Janasek?
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. I just would like to clarify a summary and make sure I understand everything correctly. Discovery responses due no later than August 4th, 20 days to respond by the consultant. And that inherently means that the last day to respond will be August 20th or 24th if there are requests issued on the 4th, but they may be issued earlier. And then parties will file testimony by the September 1st, and then the hearing will have the consultant basically be available for questions and cross-examination, but the consultant will not be submitting rebuttal.
Not written. No, sir, rebuttal. I mean, yeah. Yes, sir. But you will make your presentation of the report on the 12th. And then yes, sir. And then be subject to cross-examination by the parties and the commissioners. Now, Mr. Janasek, you said something at the beginning. Is it your understanding that you will receive any discovery request no later than August 4th? Is that your understanding?
Correct.
Okay.
So they could come, frankly, as early as tomorrow, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Whenever this gets agreed. That's fine with us. That's fine with PA.
Okay.
And we'll respond within 20 days to each set of requests. And then the deadline for those requests would be August 4th.
Those responses? Oh, you're right. Request is August 4th. Yes, but I was thinking responses again. You're right. The deadline for the request is August 4th, and you're correct. You could begin receiving them as early as today or tomorrow. You're right. And then the discovery responses are due within 20 days of your receipt of the discovery request. There are too many reads. The responses, requests, Mr. Janasek.
I understand.
You know.
Exactly.
Okay.
That all works for PA Consulting. Thanks to everybody for working this out.
Wonderful. Okay, did I miss anyone? Did I miss calling on anyone? I think we talked to Santee Cooper. We spoke to Central Electric Power Cooperative. We spoke to Nucor Steel, the Office of Regulatory Staff, PA Consulting Group. Mr. Cooper, I just noticed that your last name is the same last name of you share your last name and Santee Cooper, part of Santee Cooper's name. I just recognized that. Very interesting.
I had to mention that to Steve a couple of times to get him to finally say yes.
Oh,
he eventually did.
That's some leverage.
That's why we hired him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I just noticed that. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to add at this point? I know this is the last time I'll call your names. Mr. Cooper, do you have anything else you need to say?
No, thank you very much. I
Sure.
appreciate your working with us, and Mr. Mustian, appreciate his contribution and his help. I think this is a very good proposal, and appreciate everybody's cooperation and help.
I agree. Mr. McDonald, do you have any final thoughts?
I do not. Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mustian or Ms. Given?
No, nothing further. Thanks, everybody.
All right. And then Mr. Janasek?
Nothing further. Have a good afternoon, all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will memorialize this in some form in the docket, everyone, and serve you with what we've discussed this afternoon. Have a great and safe afternoon. Thank you.